I became the presiding judge of juvenile court in January of 1996.
For 16 years, he sat behind the bench, deciding the fate of those who came before him. Remaining objective was part of the job. He handled thousands of cases, so he had to keep his distance.
It's our business to decide the case, not really to form relationships with individual kids.
But that changed when he met Andrew Madison.
So you call me, all right?
Their relationship became about more than a juvenile delinquent and a judge.
We're close now. He has been a very responsible young man. You know, I try to stay in touch with him, and you know, I care about him.
I see him more as like a role model, father figure, like someone to go talk to about problems and stuff.
But that was far from the case 4 years ago, when Andrew first met the judge in juvenile court. At the time, he was 16 years old and angry. Anger fueled by his inability to read and teachers who couldn't help him. Anger compounded by getting expelled from school for being there after hours.
I was kind of upset that I was kicked out of, you know, the whole school district for something so small. I mean, we didn't take anything, we just went into school.
When we first met, he thought that I was part of the problem, I think.
At first, I didn't know. I mean, I thought he was gonna like put me in juvenile hall.
Instead, the judge followed the probation officer's recommendation to keep Andrew on probation and send him to the Linda Mood Bell Reading Clinic in Del Mar. The clinic specializes in treating learning disabilities.
At first, I really didn't want to go because I didn't know what it was going to be like or anything.
But once he started going, his attitude changed. After 12 weeks, Andrew went from a third grade reading level to reading at a graduate level.
I felt way better about myself. I was happy. I actually didn't want to leave the clinic. Afterwards, I really didn't have any anger towards anything because I was happy because at that time now I can read and I could pretty much do what everyone else can do.
I mean, it was more than dramatic. It was phenomenal. It was enormous.
Out of that eye-opening experience, change was born. 85% of juvenile cases involve drugs. So that's where much of the rehabilitation focus has been in the past.
You had 371 days of sobriety.
Now the judge believes differently. Studies were conducted at juvenile hall. Findings showed 2/3 of the kids reading at a 4th grade level or below. On average, these were 15-year-old 10th graders.
I was amazed that we had this big a problem that we weren't really dealing with head on.
What's the first letter you see?
So, with help from the County Office of Education and several agencies, the judge spearheaded an effort to get the Linda Mood Bell program into the court schools at the Juvenile Ranch in Camp Barrett.
You can check yourselves now. That's the beauty of this program.
Since 2002, the multisensory cognitive approach has helped 200 juvenile offenders like Salvador Cuellar and Julio Lopez. Both are drug users, although Julio is officially incarcerated for robbery.
And after just about 8 weeks, on average, they're reading close to 2 grade levels higher than what they came in at after just 8 weeks of instruction.
That compares to less than half a grade level improvement in reading using traditional methods.
It helped me a lot. Like breaking down words, big words, I couldn't even say them at all.
Makes me feel good, because now, like, I can get a book and, like, read.
Both are now thinking about their future for the first time.
Get my GED or diploma because no one in my family has got it, so they want me to be the first one.
I'm gonna have to go to school, and I know it's gonna help me out there too.
What's more, 6 months after leaving the system, almost every person contacted said they were still reading. This coming from teens like Salvador, who had never before picked up a book for fun.
It's all right. Keeps me out of trouble.
More detailed studies are now being done, but the judge believes the key to reducing the rate of recidivism lies in tackling drug and literacy problems.
If we don't, we're going to have a social problem that's really out of control.
Do you think that had anything to do with you getting into drugs? Do you see any?
Yeah. think that's pretty much the whole reason why.
Nice job, you guys.
But as successful as this program has been, money has run out. So now only 2 teachers trained in Lindenmood Bell techniques and a teacher's aide remain at Juvenile Ranch. The program can only take 12 out of about 100 incarcerated juveniles here.
Reading is a life skill just like the drug issues, just like anger management. It's a life skill. They deserve that. They deserve that.
Reading has changed Andrew's life in ways big and small. Now he's a history buff and close to getting his high school diploma. He's worked his way up to assistant manager at a local theater, and he wants to be a good dad to his daughter Amaya.
I want to be the father to her that I didn't have.
I'm as proud of him as I am of my own children.
Salvador and Julio still have a long road ahead of them, but thanks to the help they've had, they now have the tools to go after a better life.